Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm so excited about today because I want to talk about my fall reading list. It's not a fall TBR because I will not say that all will be read, but it's more like a fall menu. I'm trying to not buy any books this fall, and so this list is set up in three categories. It's books I've already read that I want to reread because they're sort of atmospheric or fit the vibe of the fall. Hi, Bill. Okay, so the second list is books that I own that I haven't read that I think fit the season. And then the last book are books that I think I can get physically at the library or on Libby. Okay, so let's start with books that I've read that I want to reread. I don't reread books often, so most of these are pretty short. But yeah, let's talk about them. Okay. So first we have Friday Black by Nana Kwame Adjei-Brenyah. I read this when it came out, I think in 2018, but this author has been coming up a lot because he wrote Chain Gang All Stars, and I was like, let me read this book. I remember liking it. It was eerie. It was weird. It's about consumerism and race and identity, and so I want to reread it, see what it was about, see which stories are my favorite. Okay, then I have Be Very Afraid of Kanako Inuki by Kanako Inuki. It is a manga. I've not read many mangas, but I've thought that the illustration in this book was really cool and really interesting. The stories themselves, it's also a series of stories, are weird. I think that's purposeful, but it's also just very, very cool, spooky illustrations. So I'm excited to reread that. Let me put these on the floor. I also have The Tea Dragon Society, which you can read at the start of any season because it goes through each of the seasons. It's also illustrated very beautifully. It's about a little society tea shop owner who takes care of these little dragons who provide tea leaves. So cute, very atmospheric. The colors are beautiful, obviously very quick to read. I also then have And Then There Were None by Agatha Christie. I've been reading more whodunits, and this one's a classic. I've not read this in a really long time. 10 people on an island, they start dying off. Who did it? So yeah, I want to reread this, remember the characters, get into it again, get into like a sort of cozy mystery that isn't too maybe gory or anything like that. Okay, so then I have The Stinky Cheese Man and Other Fairly Stupid Tales. This is one of the I love this book. This is one of those books that I remember very fondly from my childhood as being so weird and different, and I adored it. It is a retelling of some classic fairy tales, but in a very silly way. Some of the pages are upside down or backwards, and the stories aren't told right, and I just love it. It just brings me so much joy and warmth. And then we have Legends and Lattes and Bookshops and Bone Dust. If you have not already heard, which I'm sure you have, this is going to be a lot of people's probably go to really any cozy time they want book. It is about Viv, the orc, who starts a coffee shop in a magical little town that does not have coffee. So very, very cute, very atmospheric, very like nothing is happening, but in a very cozy, progressive, like go through your life sort of way. And I love it. Absolutely adore it. I also have Bookshops and Bone Dust, which is the prequel to this. It's Viv again, but getting into a little more shenanigans. I like this one also because it's set by the coast, by the beach, and I don't find a lot of beachy reads to be super cozy, but I do find this one to be. So this duo getting reread. And then the last two I have are graphic novels. We have Rainbow Pumpkinheads by Rainbow Rowell and Faith Erin Hicks. It is set in like a pumpkin patch fair. Very cute. They're running around this whole fair, like to the kettle corn station, and there's a petting zoo, and there's a s'mores pit. It's cute. It's also a little love story. It's very for the season. And Mooncakes by Wendy Xu, Suzanne Walker, Joe McGill. Just another sort of magical story about a teen witch and a wolf. I mean, it's the season. Okay, so those are all the books that I own, that I read, that I'll probably reread this season. And so let's talk about books that I own that I've not read. Which, let's not, girl. Okay. So first up, we have A Psalm for the Wild Built by Becky Chambers. It's a short one. I don't know a lot about these books because I like to go into books relatively blind. I just enjoy the book more that way, so I don't have too much to say about these, but I hope that you can get a gist, or, you know. This book is about Monk and a robot who talk about existential living. Just what it is to be alive in this sort of short novel, from what I understand. It's also supposed to be very like lush and immersive in the atmosphere, and so I think it'll be really cozy. I don't know if it's particularly fall, but I think most sort of immersive nature-y books, and it's obviously magical, are good. So we have that. All right, so let's talk about the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires by Grady Hendrix. I believe this is set in 1990s Charleston. It is about a group of Southern women who come together to form a book club because they get bored and they want to, and then they start, I think they start to think that there's a vampire in their town and start to like investigate the shenanigans and see what goes on. So I think it's going to be really good. I'm excited for this one. So next up is Black Liturgies by Cole Arthur Riley. It's prayers, poems, and meditations for staying human. I'm excited about this one. It is perfect for the season in that I imagine that I'll be very reflective and very introspective in reading this book, and I get to sort of slow down and think about what it is to be human, what it is to be Black and human, what it is to be in this identity, in just all of me and the multiple identities that I hold, and what it means to be me. And there are tons of, as she calls it, Black literary ancestors sort of written into this book, and so excited about that. Then I have Chapter in Curse by Elizabeth Penny. It is about a woman who is called to go to England to it's terrible already description because I have no idea. I believe she goes to England because her family's bookshop is falling apart and she needs to fix it, and then gets caught up in a murder investigation. It's a cozy murder mystery. I want to see what it's about. That's this one. Then I have the collected poems of Audre Lorde on the same vibes as Black Liturgies. This is the season for introspection. This is the season for reflection and slowing down. I guess all seasons could be that season, but specifically the fall. And I think I'll spend some time sort of just thinking about this sort of queer feminist identity in this time. It's just a lot to think about. Then I have The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches by Sangu Mandana. I believe this is about a witch who is teaching young children how to control their powers. It's supposed to be really heartwarming. That's all I need to know. That's that. Then I have I Feed Her to the Beast and the Beast is Me by Jameson Shea. I just started reading this actually like 2 days ago, and I am liking it so far. I'm really like in the first chapter, so we're just introducing the characters and the high stakes sort of nature of where we are. So it follows a ballet dancer who I believe will eventually sell her soul to some sort of dark entity. And so we will see how that goes. And then the last one I have is Velvet Was the Night by Sylvia Moreno Garcia. I've actually not read anything by this author. I know they are the author of Mexican Gothic and a couple of other very popular thrillers. This is a noir thriller. I don't know what year it's set in. I think it's 70s Mexico. And I think it follows a hitman and someone else, a duo of sorts. And yeah, just excited to read that. Okay, so those are all the books that that I own that I've not read that would be perfect for the season. And we're going to talk about just a few that I think I'm going to get from the library or that are on my mind. So I have two that I just got from the library today. The first one is Welcome to the Hunamdong Bookshop by Huang Borem. I'm like, it follows a woman who opens a sort of like quits her job, follows her dream to open a bookshop, and then she's like sort of discovering herself. Very sort of relatable. Yeah, my good friend recommended it to me, and I think it'll be really atmospheric. And then I have Howl's Moving Castle. Why did I say that like that? Howl's Moving Castle. I've watched this movie, did not know it was a book, didn't know it came from a book. But my friend is reading it, and so we're doing a little buddy read. And yeah, I think Diana Wynne Jones is the author. It's covered by my library sticker. But yeah, it follows Sophie. I think her name's Sophie, right? Sophie, who gets turned into an old lady, and she's following this moving castle to figure out how to reverse the curse, really. So I'm excited to read that version and then watch the movie again. I also am thinking, I don't have the physical copies yet, but I'm also thinking about reading 3 of V.M. Burns' books. I just read her book, The Plot is the Murder. It's a cozy murder mystery. I really like her. It's not like I really like her cozy murder mystery so far from the one that I read, just because it feels really familiar. Something about the way that she talks to her family and just how she's navigating life feels really relatable. And so I want to read her other cozy mysteries. There are 3 of them. Let me tell you what they are. 2 parts sugar, 1 part murder. I'll try to put it up on the screen. Murder on Tour, and then Book Club to Death. All cozy murder mysteries I'd like to read. I also want to read That Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Demon. I think there's also The Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Human. It's supposed to be sort of a funny fantasy, high stakes novel, I believe, or series. And I remember them coming out on ebook. And so, yeah, I'm excited to read them now. I think I can get them at my library. This is a stretch. I don't know if I can get this at my library, and I probably will get it anyway eventually, but because I have the first 2 books. But I want to read Children of Anguish and Anarchy, which is the 3rd book in the... what's that called? What is the series called? The Children of Blood and Bone series. What is it called? The Legacy of Orisha, I think. I need to get back into the characters, and so maybe I'll reread the first 2 books, but I know that book came out and I have not gotten it yet, so maybe I can get it at the library. I don't know. I'm sure it's very popular at my library, even with interlibrary loans. So, okay, I think that's all of my fall reading menu. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm still getting comfortable talking to you this way, so bear with me. I'm excited to keep making videos. I hope you're enjoying it so far. Please subscribe or comment if you like it. Okay, I'll see you in the next one.